questions, that is for sure. So I wonder how many of you out there looked at any of the promotion for this and saw the recipe that we're making today, which is called Hot Honey Tofu Bowl, and thought, what in the world are they doing with honey? This is a diabetes-friendly class. Well, if you've been here before, you know that we believe there are no bad foods, and we like regular food. So we don't like to use substitutes unless we really have to or it makes sense. And hot honey is such a hot trend right now. It has been now for quite some months. And we thought, let's demo this delicious bowl that Cameron brought our attention to. It is an adaptation of sweet green. Sweet green is, I'm told, is a restaurant I've never been to, and they have delicious, healthy-ish kind of food. So we're making it a little bit healthier. And along the way, we'll show you and talk to you about how to adapt this so that it can suit your needs even more. Because when you see the word honey, that should send up red flags, and you should scrutinize that recipe and decide how it needs to be for you. Everybody reacts differently to different carbohydrates. You know you, and you need to do what's best for you. So that being said, our topic today is healthy dinner on the fly. And we've kind of got plan B and plan A and plan B. Plan A is that we're going to do this hot honey tofu bowl that you have to prep for. You got to do some meal prep on the weekend or whatever your weekend or day off is, so that if you have it during the weeknight, it's quick and easy for you. There are a lot of different components. And then plan B is our delicious Greek chicken burger. So this is something, as long as you put it on your shopping list and you've got it at home, you can put this together and get it cooking within 20 minutes. Right? Yep. Easily. So we've got some great new recipes that we're excited to demo. And Mike, you said you wanted to start off with the spinach.
Yeah, so we're gonna focus on this dinner on the fly situation. So a lot of times we're looking for something last minute, and what a great option to be able to grab some ground chicken or turkey at your supermarket, whip some different flavors together and put out a nice burger. Or we were thinking about maybe using this the next day as well on a salad. So right now, burgers and salads are getting real popular, so let's do that as well. Or breakfast, yes. Yeah. So we're gonna start with our ground chicken. A lot of the chicken that you find in the store, very comparable to turkey, so grab it, it's really good, high protein. So we're gonna add to this, we're gonna add a little bit of feta cheese.
And chicken doesn't taste like turkey.
Chicken does not taste like turkey. We are gonna add some diced red onions and some of our knife kits. If you see, or knife cuts, see the nice little chopper there.
Right, and so why you say your knife cuts? Our culinary topic is knife cuts.
It is knife cuts, yes. So we have a lot of, we included in this recipe a little knife cut chart. You see a lot of different cuts advertised on recipes, and sometimes people don't know what they are. So we added a little chart there to help you out. In this recipe also, we are going to do a little bit of egg white, 1 egg white, kind of pull it together. A little bit of oregano. I was thinking too that this could be like a Spanish, like a Mexican burger. It could be really good with a little guacamole or a little bit of salsa pico on top of it. That would be really good too. Yeah. So a little bit of, just a little pinch of salt and pepper. And we're going to mix this really quick. And this goes with a little bit of sauteed spinach that we're going to put on top of this burger. So see how quick this was. And a lot of different profiles you could do with this. It just said Mexican, but you could do an Italian burger. You could do a mock sausage, an Asian teriyaki. Something would be really good with that as well. We're going to start out with just a little bit of fresh spinach, and we're going to saute this. We have a warm pan, and we're going to add this with a little bit of olive oil.
A non-stick pan, right?
Non-stick pan, a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to use a little bit of chopped garlic. And we're just going to wilt this really quick. It's going to go on top of our burger. And while this is cooking, we're going to get our burger going. So we have our mix. How quick and easy was that? We're going to use a little portion scoop to keep them all the same size.
Those scoopers are worth it. Go to Amazon and get one if you don't have one.
A little patty, a nice warm pan, a vegetable spray, and in the pan they're going to go.
You're literally like 6 minutes.
6 minutes. This could be a 20-minute dinner kitchen to table.
Yeah, so the meal prep here is, I've got all the ingredients, and I maybe even have it measured out. You see, Chef has the onion measured out, the garlic measured out, the oil, and so you're all ready to go. Mise en place.
Mise en place.
Mise en place.
So this is gonna cook for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then Jenny's gonna talk you through this beautiful honey tofu bowl.
Okay, I just want to say one thing about these burgers, is these are on regular rotation at my house. And we'll put them together, we'll put them on wax paper or parchment paper and freeze them, and then put them in a Ziploc bag. We take them out 2 and 3 days. So we always have it at the rest.
They freeze well.
They do freeze well and they come back well. And I noticed that you're using ground chicken breast. So I use ground chicken breast too. I tend to go for like a mix between white and dark meat because it's a little bit more tender. So you can use whatever you want. Okay, so let's get this hot honey tofu bowl started. The idea is that we're gonna prep these things ahead of time. So I'm gonna get the tofu and the sweet potatoes ready. And Mike has been kind enough to already drain the tofu. Probably drained it, but now it's got a little bit more. But already diced this tofu. And you can see that it's like in inch pieces. I'm gonna add all that to my bowl.
Using the firm, extra firm.
Extra firm, so you don't have to be too gentle with it, but a little. So get that all in there. And of course, this is plant-based protein. Maybe not as much protein as the same equivalent of a chicken or a beef, but it's a nice alternative every now and then. And then we already have the sweet potatoes. These are peeled and diced, and they're about the same size. I'll put those in there. And then I'm gonna start with the olive oil. Is this exact?
Yep.
Okay. So pour my olive oil in there. And this is what I do at home. You don't have to. Mike was like, just toss everything in the bowl, that's fine. For some reason, I like to get it coated a little bit with the oil, but don't get too aggressive, right? Because the tofu will fall apart. And then all the spices can go in there. And we've got a whole host of them. So this would be a great idea to maybe in one bowl, get all your spices measured out. And then you just got it ready to dump.
Yeah. This is a nice spice blend, so you can use again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great. So you could do a big batch of this spice blend, and then you could have it for other things. All right. And then I'm not going to use all this salt and pepper, but we are going to add salt. Yes, indeed, because salt brings out the flavor of all our herbs and spices and all of the natural flavor of that sweet potato. Ooh, I cannot wait. I'm going to give this a little bit of a toss. I'm going to let gravity help me. And that looks pretty evenly coated. And because I've worked with tofu before and I've been burned by this cornstarch business, I'm going to make sure that I add the cornstarch at the end and evenly. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on. I'm going to give it a toss. And my tofu is holding together really well. I wonder, could you freezing tofu is such a big thing. Could you use frozen tofu in this or?
I've never tried it, but I don't think it would hurt the quality. I mean, I think it would be fine.
Okay. All right.
You'd have to dice it though.
Yes. Yes. Dice it and freeze it. Okay. This looks amazing. As usual, I was just telling Chef Mike that I'm always so impressed at his combinations of spices and coatings that is always like perfect. You can see it's perfect. And then we're going to dump this out onto a sheet pan. And make sure that if you double the recipe, you're using 2 sheet pans. You want there to be enough space between the pieces of tofu. I'm just going to encourage these to have a little space in between so we don't steam it so much.
If you have a rack to put on here, those do come out a lot crispier.
Like
and
rack.
the ones that we're baking right now are going to come out a
Like
little
a cooler
crispier.
rack.
Like a rack that you can set them on so the
Yeah.
air circulates all the way around it, kind of like that. We're mimicking an air fryer thing.
Or you could cut the recipe in half and use an air fryer.
You could, yes.
All right, this goes in a very hot oven. This Mike is already prepared for me. So I think you go.
It's good in there on the bottom even. And then if you want to demo the slaw, then we can pull all this together.
That oven looks a little different from mine. There are all these like contraptions going on.
We're high tech here.
Now, as far as the quinoa, you've already made that.
Quinoa's already done, and this would be where we're talking about convenience. If you had some left over from the night before, or if you were gonna make a batch and use it in several different applications, that's what I'm recommending.
And if you're like me, on the weekend, one of my meal prep is to make some grain, either one or two. I love red quinoa. I make a whole big batch of it. I cool it. I spread it out on a sheet pan, cool it very quickly, and then I freeze it in Ziploc bags. And so at any point in time, I can just take that bag out, heat it up really quickly, 30 seconds in the microwave, and I'm ready to go with really healthy grain. And then coleslaw. What are we doing now?
So coleslaw, remember, we're gonna make a dressing really quick.
Thanks for reminding me. That's my job.
Come on, Danny. So this.
We've got the red
So we're gonna,
cabbage.
yeah, we're gonna make a nice
non-turkey
slaw,
veggies.
and once again, you could buy this ahead of time if you like the slaw mix that they have in the store, or if you're making slaw to use throughout the week, this is great in a crunchy salad, or for this application, it goes on our bowl today. And not only the quinoa, but if you had different grains you could use in this, couscous, farro, any of the wheat, whole wheat, brown rice, any of that stuff would work in this bowl as well.
Absolutely love the quinoa though. It has such a great blood sugar stabilizing kind of quality to it. All right, so I put the mayonnaise in here. I've got mustard. I love Dijon mustard, just does something.
You could do that with yellow mustard too if you didn't have Dijon.
I'm gonna pour the oil. What's that? Was that oil?
We have a vinegar. We have an apple cider vinegar in there.
Okay, that was vinegar. And this is the honey. Now I want to talk about the honey. If you don't want honey at all, this recipe would be delicious without the honey. But if you want to mimic what the restaurants are doing now in that hot honey trend, then go ahead and add it. You could cut it in half, whatever you want. This is, I think, 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon of honey. Not sure why I put it in there.
I'm not sure either, but we're going with it.
Don't worry. No, it's all going to
Well, going with me, but
right?
that's it.
All right. And we'll put that in there. I'll make some honey in. Good thing it's warm in here, right?
It's nice.
If it was cold, we'd be like, oh, that did not work. Okay. I'm loving the spoon, but I'm gonna use the tools I was given. Mix this up.
And if you want a little salt and pepper, you can. We have a lot of different components in there.
And eyeball, like I'm looking at this right now and I'm thinking, oh, I might add some more cabbage to this, or I might grate some carrot into it or some green onion. I know we've got green onion somewhere, but do, whatever comes to your mind, do it the way you want.
Cucumbers, peppers, any of that's going to be great in this one.
A little bit of that, a bit of salt. Got it. If I were at home, I'd taste it. So I just go in with my fingers. All right, but I don't want anyone to guess. There's my sauce. Pretty.
It is
Love
pretty.
how
And you can use the
pretty it
different colors in there too. And if you want to buy that bag mix at the grocery store, even better. You have the carrots, the red cabbage and the white cabbage in there.
All right, so we've got our tofu and sweet potatoes baking. The quinoa is cooked, the coleslaw is made, and now we need to make the hot honey mustard dressing.
So the dressing is made. The recipe is included in this. And this recipe for the dressing is good on a lot of different things. So if you want to double up on that recipe, it could be used for a lot of different things, but it's great on this bowl.
I
And
love the apple cider vinegar.
yeah, it's really good. And we used a yellow mustard in this one. It gives it a little colorful aspect to this bowl. So I hope you like it. And if you want to pull your stuff out of the oven, maybe you could start assembling one of these bowls and talk us through it. So this roasts for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on what size your potatoes are and your tofu is. If you can get those the same size, about 20 minutes at the oven temperature that we have listed there, does really good. If you can put it on a rack, even better. You're going to see how that crisps up a little bit. And it's going to be really nice. If you have an air fryer, absolutely, this recipe works in that as well. So we have it nice and crispy. And then Jenny's gonna start.
Yeah, I can, you're good. These look, I just want to eat these right
But
now.
see the difference in those, the way the air circulated around it,
Yeah.
roasting it, air frying it, is gonna improve the crunchiness.
I mean, I'm sure the average kid doesn't have this basket at home, but I just use my cookie cooling rack and
Yeah.
stick it in my sheet pan. And Mike has put some parchment paper on the bottom so that, you know, those burn bits aren't hard to clean up. Really awesome. All right, so I've got everything here. Start with my bowl.
And we're using a multicolored quinoa today, as a base. So this is really a tasty bowl when you get it all together.
Crazy. Yeah, and you can use any quinoa, right?
Any
Red
quinoa,
color, red quinoa,
yeah.
white quinoa.
And if you can cook that ahead of time, they have the little microwave packs now with the quinoa in there as well. That would be great for this if you had some leftover sweet potatoes from the night before or some tofu roasted. The convenience of stuff you have in the stores now is really nice.
Okay, you know what's funny is you really have to look hard to know the difference between the tofu and the sweet potato.
Because they all roasted really nicely and they're all
Yeah.
seasoned really well. You're gonna have a great time picking these out and eat them all.
Okay. I just want to keep going here.
I can tell you're making this bowl for yourself.
Tofu, tofu, tofu. All right, and then some, why am I doing that? I keep thinking coleslaw in there. What else do we have?
Our dressing.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, once again, keep the concept in mind of the convenience of the bowl. Bowls are really happening now with leftover stuff. So sweet potatoes, grains, all this stuff makes really good bowls. I'm tossing in the little freshness of the crispy slaw or even a chopped salad on top would be really great.
I stole some of your cucumbers.
You go, girl.
That's hilarious. Okay, put that in there and get some like beautiful color. And then I'll just drizzle this on. Woo. Lord, I am salivating. All right, you could do a little cilantro if you wanted to, if you like that sort of
If you
thing.
like that, yes.
And there is our bowl. One meal prep idea is that you mimic this bowl, that you have a lean protein thing, you've got non-starchy thing, you've got maybe a pickle or a slaw, and you keep them in Tupperware in the fridge. So at lunch, you just have to, in the morning, grab what you're in the mood for, make a bowl really quickly, measuring the quinoa that's in your bowl, and you're good to go.
Yep.
How are your chicken burgers?
So the burgers are done. So we're gonna finish this a couple different ways. So we cook these about 4 minutes on each side, depending on how thick you make these. So we have this beautiful burger and we are gonna garnish this with the sauteed spinach that we did briefly with the olive oil and the garlic. We're gonna add a little bit of cucumber on here and a little bit of red onion. And this is gonna make a killer burger.
What a good idea to use that sauteed spinach instead of a condiment.
Or we have a salad. A lot of people are adding these on the salads now. So we have our turkey burger, maybe with a little homemade tzatziki as the whole dressing to top that off. So making a batch of these, you can freeze these even after they're cooked. Make it in a salad, make it on a burger, eat it for breakfast with your eggs, all that stuff, all above.
Delicious. And we have a recipe for chicken sausage that we did as part of a breakfast maybe last year, maybe the year before. You can find it on the link to the recipes. That would be a great thing to do and have like this, but also for breakfast. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so with these two recipes, you've got several dinners, several lunches. My number one meal prep is don't make too much. I have many times gone to the store, my eyes were bigger than my stomach, and I came home with all this food and I had to spend a whole day prepping. 3 dinners, and then make more than the recipe calls for so that you have lunches and you have breakfasts. And then maybe, I don't know, I think people pretty much stay with certain things for breakfast. Make
Yeah.
sure you have your breakfast all set up, that you've got your oatmeal if you need it, that you're planning if it's overnight. Do you have your eggs? Do you have enough? Things like that. So there's a lot with putting that shopping list together, but you have these 2 recipes and my golly, one more and you're set for the week.
Yeah, and you don't want to meal prep the same meal all week long, so it's nice to have maybe a 2-day, 3-day meal prep schedule rotate with. So here's some great ideas for you to use. I hope you can use any of those. Any questions we need to follow up on today, Cam?
We haven't had any questions, but Alice gave us a good tip of making pickled red onions with lime juice. That could add some nice brightness and flavor.
I love to hear, did she put what her recipe is in the chat? Alice, if you can do that, that would be amazing.
We'll steal your
But
recipe.
a quick pickle, you're right, that is just the best. You can't have a taco at home without a pickle.
Yeah, that would go good on a burger too.
Pickled onion.
Absolutely.
Yes, Wendy asked if there's a place to find previous recipes. There is. I'll be sending out an email this afternoon with access to the recipes from today, access to previous recipes, and a schedule for the upcoming couple months.
So this is a great time for us to talk about what the sequence of events is. You register, that means that you'll get a notice 24 hours and an hour before the demo starts live. Once you register, you have access to 4 years worth of going into 5 years of recorded demos, and you have access to all the recipes. And like Cameron said, after the demo, whether you see it or not, as long as you're registered, you'll get a follow-up email from Cameron. It will have the recipes that we did today, a link to them. So if you didn't download them or you can't download them or you can't see them right now, you will get that in your email. And then if you have any questions at any time, we're all available to answer them. So you could email us as well. Great. Cameron, you had some really excellent meal prep tips, and those you can find at the end of the honey tofu bowl recipe. Do you want to come over and tell us about them? And I'm going to taste everything you made. So
You just want to leave early so you can eat.
the tofu is really good. Oh my land.
So on our recipes today that I put a link to, but I'll also be sending them in the email later on today.
Sweet potato.
Isn't it? I've made this recipe at home. It's incredible. But we also have some meal prep tips that I put together on the last page of the hot honey tofu bowl, as well as the Greek chicken burgers bowl or recipe. And it just gives you some nice ideas if you come home from work and this is a little bit daunting to make 1, 2, 3, 4 different recipes for one recipe.
Daunting.
Yeah. But if you have some time on a Sunday afternoon and you want to make your quinoa ahead of time, that's definitely an option. I have a rice cooker. It was really inexpensive on Amazon and it has saved my life. I'll just turn it on. You don't have to worry about it boiling or boiling over or how long to cook it or how much water. You just put it all in the pot and it cooks itself. So a rice cooker is a really nice meal prep option. Making any of these recipes ahead of time or marinating your meats ahead of time can help as well. I don't know if we mentioned this, but you can use other proteins in this recipe too. If you have chicken or like a lean beef or fish or something like that that you want to use up that's in your fridge that can be used in this recipe too. But make the tofu first. It's definitely worth it. It's incredible. And then with the Greek chicken burgers, those are a really nice meal prep meal. You can either make the mixture ahead of time, cook the burgers, and then you could even freeze them. For Christmas, I got these things called super cubes, which are these silicone cubes that you can put anything that you make. If I make quinoa, I could put the quinoa in them and freeze them, and then I just pop it out and I have quinoa for lunch. Maybe I could take it into lunch or things like that. Or with the burgers, I could freeze those as well. And you have a really simple meal if you have some time ahead of time to make it to help you set yourself up for success when maybe in the future you might not have as much time. And so keep an eye out for an email pretty soon, and we're really looking forward to a really great 2025.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, a lot of really great recipes planned for you and different topics.
I think I can speak for the whole crew here that we spent some thoughtful time thinking about what we can bring in 2025. We are so thankful for all of you who register, who watch, who share with your friends and family. We love that there's a chat, and we love if it could be live and you could be here with us. We will give you opportunities to do that a couple times throughout the year if you're in Columbus, especially if you're on main campus and already have a parking spot. Then it'll work really well and we'll feed you too. So we'll let you know about that. Thanks so much, guys. This is the favorite part of my week.
Yes, thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right, give these recipes a try. I hope you enjoy them. Let us know what you like about them or some more feedback on them.
Do it yourself sushi bowls.
Coming up.
Bye, everybody.